So today is not really talking about history only. It's about also the late news. The late news, like for example, in Nepal, you saw what happened in Nepal recently. How the Gen Z, yeah, I don't know which is, but how they got rid of the government in Nepal. You saw how it was crazy. I think it was when the 9th of September, a few days ago, and then the 8th or the 9th of September, and the 10th of September, we have this tragic death of Charlie Kirk that happened in the university in Utah. Yeah, I've been in Utah. I mean, I think it's very special because when I heard that it happened in Utah, I was kind of shocked because I thought it was a conservative state. I mean, I've lived there for just I stayed there for a few months. I mean, some few months I stayed there because I was trying to see if I could attend a school there, but it didn't work like I wanted. So I went back to Texas. So I saw how Utah is kind of, I think it's the Mormon. They have a very, I mean, I was in Salt Lake City to be precise. And I felt it looks like a very quiet state, like a really religious quiet state. So really, when I read that it was coming, it happened in Utah, I mean, I was like, no, I was surprised, to be honest. But the news, I got the news when the notification happened in my phone because I always watch the news. I read the news. I like to read articles about the article about the news. I don't want to lie to you, I was outside and I heard when I read that Charlie Kirk was shot, okay, and the bullet went through his neck. My first reaction was like, he will not make it. And obviously I had emotion because this young man, I found him. I heard about him the first time I started reading and watching his videos, maybe back home, not in America, back home, in 2020. In 2020, I think, the first time.
Keep being lazy about please.
And that was the first time that I heard a young man being part of being conservative, because for us who are Christian, for a person like me who is Christian, who grew up in a very religious family, because I said that many times in my video, my grandfather was pastor. I mean, before being pastor, he was a teacher. I have been teacher. He was called for responsibility in his little town, and then he had a calling, and the calling was serve God. He became a pastor. My grandmother was a prayer warrior. My grandmother, on my mother's side, my mom grew up in a family of, but she wasn't Christian. She didn't understand completely. People can go to church, but they don't understand. They don't have this personal relationship with God. Only later on, she understood it. You can go to church and understand nothing about and have no relation with God. You can go to church. You have even men of God who don't even have a real relation with God, okay? They don't really understand what they are preaching, because when I see today some people who are preaching some stuff, I'm shocked, and you're like, okay, the Bible literally said the opposite, and they just tell you something else. That's how you understand that it's important that for us, like the Bible says, that even after church service, you go back home and you read you do your own research when you read the Bible, okay? And I grew up in an environment like that. So there are things that are for me, and also because of my cultural background, tribe and everything, there are things that I don't know, that I cannot necessarily agree on, and the religious background. And then when you are like that, it seems that you are too strict for some people, when in fact you are, you live, that. And I have to say that the conservative background I have saved me from doing many mess in my life. There were things that I was doing like young people, I mean, as a young person, but I never crossed a certain thing, like going to drink, smoke, getting tattoos, I'm not judging people who have tattoos, but I see that it's not in my background, and I'm not looking to do that. And piercing and such, yeah, I've never been interested. I also have a promiscuous life. I think my conservative background saved me a lot in an environment where young people will do whatever they wanted. I'm not judging, I'm just saying that it saved me. But at some part in my life, it seems like some people will make you feel like, oh, the way you feel, the way you are is wrong. Okay? But listen to a young man like that who made me proud to actually remember that this is my background, this is who I am actually. It was really inspiring. I watch him and I think this young man has a lot of logic and he's very intelligent. It's very sad the way he passed away. I have to say it was horrible. It's a tragedy. Everybody's talking about that. But what makes me make this video is how you have people like this man on my comment section who insisted for like different, he was keep sending me comments. Well, I try to be very respectful, because you debate and you respect someone, and which is one of the things that he was doing, is to understand that you can also understand that you don't necessarily agree with someone, but you can do it in a very courteous and respectful way. And the death of this young man showed that in America, free speech doesn't exist. I mean, it has proven that it's free speech, because if I cannot, what is the problem? How does it affect you personally? If this is my opinion, okay? This is my opinion. How does it affect you personally in your home? You see that it's just to the point where you come out there and shot me. To the point where people can be celebrating his death. And people who are celebrating his death, it tells a lot about the mental condition, because you see that later on some of them have been fired, and this is what they say. Some of them say, oh, I have been fired because of my opinion. And I'm like, oh, you have been fired because of your opinion, but you think it's okay that someone deserves to die for the same thing. Okay? That man came and insisted that I should agree with him that Charlie Kirk deserved his death. At this point, because he was telling me, oh, he's tricking young people, naive people. And first of all, when you go to university, how are you naive? This is the place where you are going to learn and read. This is what university is supposed to do. And he has proven that. It looks like now, today, school is a scam. He said that, but it's difficult because I don't agree with him 100%, because if you are from a poor family, the only way for you to succeed and to have an open door in life, in possibility, is school. But what I agree with him is like school, and I have a series of videos in my channel where I talk about education is failing us. The problem we have today is because we have people who are lack of education. But the problem is even vicious, because you have people going to school who still don't have education. I will explain to you what I mean by that. And I say that many times. You have people, they have degrees on the wall, but they are stupid. And that's why I am not impressed if someone tell me that, oh, I have a doctorate, I have a master, because I will listen to your logic. If I listen how you talk, and I see how you analyze things, and you have a degree, it means absolutely nothing for me. That's why you cannot judge someone based on his degrees, okay? You have people who didn't go to school, who are more intelligent, who have more sense, who have more good logic, who can analyze better. The problem we have today is the problem of education. We have a problem of education. In what sense? It's because people are more sensitive, emotional for stupid things, okay? They are going to judge you, okay, because you have an opinion. How come can you be angry at someone who has an opinion when it doesn't affect you personally? I don't understand that. And he deserved to die. That man, I told him to get out of my page, because it's really not only it's dehumanizing to think like that, but it's also show that he's sick in a way. He's mentally sick. He needs help. Sorry, I'm not making fun of people who have serious mental condition. I'm sorry, but people who actually are evil and coming because you want me to agree, like that journalist, I don't know his name, who Don Lemon, who wanted for the lady to accept that Charlie Kirk deserved his death. When you see some journalists coming on TV and or people of political people figure who are tweeting and saying that it's okay, it's sad, because in the old day, when you say they are older than us, or maybe our age or my age or older, you know that actually, even if you have there are things that you cannot wish even to your worst enemy. But today we have now a movement of people who can walk over a dead body and spit on it. It shows that this world is getting worse and worse. You know, there are people like this man who came and say, you know what, it's bad, he said this, he said that. I say, are you sure that what he say is a racist like you say, is this, is that like you say? Are you sure that he say exactly what, or you took a portion of his speech? Because the problem, like I say, the problem of today is the lack of education. When I talk about lack of education, people goes to school for the microwave system and they don't do much of this stuff. If someone gives you at school, they give you a text, okay, an author. They tell you, the professor can ask you to analyze a text of an author. You read the text, you go read the text. You go, you read the complete text. You go, you read, okay? And then you highlight some parts that have completely touched you. Even in the Bible, you highlight some parts. Now, they ask you to analyze the text. But when you analyze the text, you have to analyze according to the context, right? Even in the Bible, why the problem we have in church today is because people take things out of context in the Bible. Same thing happened for the speech. If someone says something, try to go back and understand. When you take a text, you study a text. Even for us who study 3 languages, for example, we study French, we study English, we study Spanish. Not only in the surface, you study also a little bit of the literature if you have the other text, the other language. And then they ask you the author, the year the author was born, okay, and when he died. Yeah, that's how you analyze the text first. You go to know about the author, and you know, and you need to know the ideology of the author, and then you try to understand what was happening at the time of what was happening among what was the historical event that happened in the time he was born or he was living. Okay, then you understand his ideology, you try to understand his theology, what he fight for, what he believed in. And then you understand also that the time you read this text or the book, put it in context, okay? This is the problem we have. People just take words out of context and then dramatize, because we are in a society where we live on social media, we don't want to read anymore, and the education system is failing us. So someone has a speech, instead of doing the research, that person will just take one portion of the speech, and you see how vicious it is, how evil it is to just take some portion and make it out of proportion and lie about what the person say. Some of them say, oh yes, it's because he's poor, he promotes gun violence. Or I think it's something about the Second Amendment. First of all, For those who are criticizing who are not American, even American, I think that some Americans don't even know their own history, because I met some, they don't even know. I don't know the American history, but it's interesting because I read a little bit of that. And I always say that America is a beautiful country, it's a great country, even though I talk about the politics, it's difficult to understand. When you know your history, this young man said he's a patriot. He believes in what the country is. He say, make America great again and everything. Okay. He promote violence as if I understand these people, as if the people who have done mass shooting or all this, he called them, he said, go shoot at school. No, because what he say, according to them, what he say promote it. What he say promote. The question I have for these people, I don't know about everything he say, but I try to use my logic. Before gun exist, people were killing each other. Did people were killing each other? That's my question, okay? Before gun exist, did people kill each other? Were they war? People were fighting, people were killing? Because I remember reading in the Bible that even at the time when the first men were created, the first crime was Cain, who killed his brother Abel because of his heart and because of jealousy. Okay? So he didn't use a gun, he used a stone. So I don't know if every country has the Second Amendment, but I think that police exists everywhere and law exists everywhere, because human is not good by nature. I have a long video on that. I have two videos where I talk about when Jean-Jacques Rousseau say that people were born good by nature, but society corrupt us. And I say in some cases, but most of the time I contradict Jean-Jacques Rousseau by saying that in the Bible, God has proven that evil is already in human. That's why God said to repent and to change the life, okay? Because it has been proven that the heart of man is evil by nature. So when you say that this person is responsible to promote, but have you never seen someone who kills without guns? People who someone can jump on you literally and without weapon can strangle you. Someone can poison you. Someone can kill you by stone. What about them? It's just a question. It means that it's not necessarily the object, it's the intention of the person. Can you control the intention? You cannot. If I make rules, I say everybody like that. Do you think that you can control me? I put the rules on everyone. Are you going to go on everyone to go after them? That was his belief. That was his opinion. And how does it affect you personally to the point where you're going to kill him? If he said, don't force me to call a man a woman and a woman a man, what is wrong with it? If you feel like it's your decision, that's your decision. But he didn't believe in him, such as me. But I respect your decision. But don't force me to say something I don't know. It's like when people want you to say, oh, same-sex marriage. That's the decision. It's their prerogative. But where I come from, how I was born, and my belief from the Bible, it says nowhere. So what do you want me? I'm not going to go after you and condemn you for that. But don't, if you ask me the question, is it okay? I say, I don't know what it is. Okay? But I respect your decision. I respect your choice. But if you come to my faith and I read my Bible, it doesn't exist. Okay? Now let's go to the second part.